It was supposed to be another boring summer in the quiet town of Evershade. Alex, Mira, Jonah, and Lila had explored every corner of the place, from the rusted train tracks to the abandoned mill by the river. But that evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, they found themselves wandering deeper into the woods than ever before. Jonah was the first to spot it, a crumbling stone arch, half buried under vines and moss. At first glance, it looked like nothing special, just another ruin forgotten by time. But when the moon rose and its light fell across the arch, strange runes shimmered to life, glowing faintly like embers. The four friends stood in stunned silence. Mira reached out, brushing her fingers across the markings, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. A low hum filled the air, as though the arch itself was breathing. "This isn't just a ruin," Lila whispered, her voice trembling. "It's alive." Alex swallowed hard. He couldn't explain why, but he felt the arch was calling to them. And deep inside, he knew that once they stepped closer, nothing would ever be the same again. Curiosity won over fear. The runes pulsed brighter, forming a pattern that stretched across the stone. Without thinking, Jonah pushed forward, and the air inside the arch shimmered like rippling water. He glanced back at the others, eyes wide. "It's the doorway." One by one, they stepped through. The world around them shifted in a rush of light and shadow, like falling through a dream. When the dizziness faded, they stood in a vast forest unlike anything they had ever seen. The trees glowed faintly as though lit from within, and the air shimmered with drifting sparks. But beauty came with danger. A howl echoed from somewhere deep within the woods, low and guttural. Shadows slithered between the glowing trunks. Mira clutched Jonah's arm. "We shouldn't be here." Yet Alex felt a strange certainty. "We were meant to be here," he said firmly. He didn't know how he knew, but the shadow gate hadn't opened by accident. As they pushed forward, a broken stone tablet lay half-buried beneath roots, etched with the same runes as the arch. Lila traced the carvings, reading aloud the words, "Chosen not by chance, but by fate." Their first night in the strange realm was restless. They huddled near a fire Jonah built from glowing branches, trying to stay warm as the sounds of the forest surrounded them. Then came the rustling. The fire crackled louder as a figure stepped from the shadows. It wasn't human. Tall, cloaked in darkness, with eyes that burned like coals. It carried a spear carved from bone. The creature studied them silently before speaking in a voice that rumbled like thunder. "You walk through the shadow gate, yet you do not understand what you carry." None of them dared to answer. Finally, Mira found her voice. "What do you mean?" The figure pointed at Alex. "The mark. He bears it." Alex looked down, and to his horror, a faint rune glowed on his forearm, the same pattern from the arch. His heart raced. Why him? Before they could ask more, the creature vanished into the darkness, leaving only the echo of its warning. The war begins when the chosen awaken. The friends soon realized the Shadow Gate was more than a doorway. It was a test. Each realm they entered seemed to challenge them in different ways. In one, they had to solve a labyrinth of mirrors where their reflections tried to deceive them. In another, they crossed a bridge of light that crumbled beneath doubt, forcing them to trust one another completely. The trials weighed on them. Lila's patience frayed, Jonah's temper grew, and even Mira began to lose faith. But Alex, though afraid, held them together. He had to, because every step forward made the mark on his arm glow brighter, and with it came visions of battles long past, warriors in shadow, towers burning, a gate splitting worlds apart. At night, when the whispers of the forest lulled the others to sleep, Alex stared at the mark, feeling its pull. Whatever lay ahead, it was tied to him, and he couldn't shake the fear that he was leading his friends into danger they weren't ready for. The final realm lay before them, a desolate battlefield where the ground was scorched black and the sky blood red. At the center stood another arch, larger and darker than the first. Its runes pulsed like a heartbeat. The same cloaked figure appeared, this time closer, its voice heavy with warning. Every gate demands a choice. Open it, and you carry the burden of what follows. Refuse, and the war will fall upon your world instead. The four stood frozen. Jonah wanted to turn back. Lila begged Alex to think of home. But Mira stepped forward, her eyes blazing. We can't run. If this is our fate, we face it together. Alex looked at each of them, then at the glowing mark on his arm. The choice wasn't his alone. It belonged to all of them. Taking a deep breath, he placed his hand on the arch. Light exploded, shadows screamed, and the battlefield vanished into silence. When the dust cleared, the friends stood alone, the gates sealed behind them. But Alex knew this was only the beginning. The Shadow Gate had chosen them, and its chronicles had only just begun.